thank you for joining me. And today I am going to be doing something a little bit scary for me because I've never used this before, and that is why I have a printed PDF. Oh my gosh, what book was this from? Just a minute, I think I have it right on the back of this. Let me just take it up. Magic and Mythology Special of Colour in Heaven by Lindsey Archer. And that is the PDF version of that. And what's different about this is I am going to be trying out this product, which is called Frisket film. And the idea is you put it on and you stick it down, and you're able to then cut away the parts that you want to paint, and then once you're done with that bit you can then cut away the next bit, so you don't get paint on to any area that you don't want to be doing yet. If that makes sense. I'm hoping it does, but yeah, it seems pretty simple to use, but because I've never used it before, it's going to be tricky, because it does suggest trying it out on like paper you've never used it on beforehand. So because it's often used for actual canvases and stuff like that, it might not be suitable for certain papers, which again is why I've got a PDF, because if I ruin it then I can just reprint it. So I'm going to go ahead and open this because I haven't even opened it yet, and then I will come back with it already stuck down, and yeah, just be back in a moment. Right, so that went on really smoothly actually, really easy to peel off, and it didn't feel too sticky, so I'm hopeful that it's not going to ruin the paper. But as you can see, you can just see that it's got like this shiny sort of ness on it, and what I did was when I attached it at the top, and as I was peeling the paper off I sort of smoothed it out with my ruler, so it's nice and smooth going down the page. And so I'm going to start with the sky area. So I'm just going to go in with my blade. Try not to actually chop through my paper because I am not an expert with this thing. So I'm going to cut out around her and down here, and yeah, that is the area I'm going to paint using gouache. I think this is originally made for like watercolours, but I want to use it with acrylic paint, but I thought testing it first with gouache, it's sort of halfway between watercolour and acrylic, so I thought if it works with gouache then there's more of a chance that it will be okay with acrylic as well. So I'm going to pause it again because it will take me a while to sort of slice around that, because I'm going to try and be extra careful. So I'll be back in a moment again. I just wanted to explain what I was going to be doing. Right, so I just wanted to show you how easy it is to peel up. So just got this bit left to do, and it literally just peels off nice and easy along where you've created it. I think that was my mistake because I went in too hard with my knife. But yeah, done all around here. You can kind of see on camera that this looks like it's a darker grey. I know it is slightly darker grey on this anyway, but you can see the white of the paper where I've taken the tape off. And yeah, I'm quite hopeful for this product now. So that has worked nicely. So now I need to do the sky, and I'm going to make it an evening sky because she has got her candle lit down here. So if I don't actually have my paint out, so sorry again, although for you it's only going to be a second, so it should be okay. I'll just pause. Right, all ready, and I'm just using the Tassel Arts 24 gouache, and these are the colours that are available in that set, and I'm going to be using the blues and purples, a bit of white and black. And I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. I hope that's okay, because obviously I can't move the page because it's stuck down, so that will have to be how it is. And I am just going to get started. So start with a bit of dark blue. And I don't even know how this paper takes water, because I didn't even think about that. So here we go. I won't use too much water because it isn't watercolour paper, but it's also that's actually the darker blue. I'll just do a mixture of blues anyway. I think I need to add some water to these gouache, because obviously it's gouache. I'm either used to using watercolour or acrylic. Get some water in the black as well, because I want it to be fairly dark at the top here. But I do want that blue showing through in places. I just think this makes it easier, because as you see, because the plastic's there, it's not gonna get on it. And I can't remember where I saw it. I think I saw it, like, I was scrolling through Instagram, and then I saw a video and I was watching it, and they were peeling something off, and I was like, that looks useful. So I clicked to see what it was, and it was this. Right, I do want to add a bit of purple into the sky. So put some water on the purple. Oh, add some up there as well. I like it when the purple mixes in. The only downside to this is I'm going to have to let it dry, and things do not dry quickly in this house, not at all. And I want a bit of dark blue down here. Oh, I haven't done this over here. That should be the sky as well. I'll just do this side and then I'll get my knife on that. So, dark. paper seems to be okay with this so far, so hopefully I won't have any problems, because there's quite a lot of water in some of the places, but it seems to be holding up okay. Just get down that line a minute, and then I'm going to put some darkness in down here. Just smooth that out with my water a bit. Right, now I think I'm going to have to let that dry a bit before I can carry on. Oh, this bit down here, wasn't it? Don't want to forget that. Right. So I'm just going to take my knife. Can you even see? Let me zoom you back out. There we go. So take my knife gently. It doesn't take much to cut through this paper, this Frisket film. That just went a bit wrong. And then you just sort of put your knife on the side, get the point. I think I get the point. I say that now and then I can't find it. Find the edge, slide it down. Did I slice that bit? And then just peel it off. It's quite simple. I might have to pick a colouring book that I don't mind ruining the page first to actually try it first in a colouring book, but so far so good. And bit of paint in there. It needs to be darker. Like so. That's good enough. Like I said, I don't want to make it too complicated. But yeah, and with these trees, you can actually see on this image, this area has the black line art, and then this area has a grey line art, and I'm thinking that this is where they intended the light of the candle to be lighting up, because it's over here and over here, and I did just put my hand in that paint. Silly. So yeah, I'm going to follow that light for that. But that did make putting that wash of background on so simple. And next I will undo the trees. The only difference is now is I will have to be mindful of the background, if you know what I mean, because the film isn't going to be over that. I think you can put the film back over your paint, but I feel like lifting it up would then remove some of the paint, so I'm just going to be careful with the trees, because yeah, I feel like being able to do the background as quick as that without having to worry about going over her or the trees, it made it a lot simpler for me. yeah, the next thing I'll cut out will be the trees, so it still won't go on her. I put my finger through paint again, but that's just because it's on plastic, isn't it? But yeah, first I'm going to let this dry, and I still have a couple of things I want to do to the sky. I want to add some little stars and maybe a couple of clouds, but I want this to dry first, so I will be back in a bit. Right, so it is almost dry. It's still a bit wet, but it's fine. And if I don't think I told you, this is printed on the Neenah cardstock. It's a standard letter size, and I think it's supposed to be quite good with quite a lot of mediums, which is why I have quite a few pages printed out on it. And plus it came in a pack of, it came in like a ream. I think it's like a ream of 300 sheets or something. And I'm like, that's gonna last a long time. Right, so I'm now gonna go in and do some more on the sky. You would have thought that while I was waiting for it to dry that I would have mixed my sort of cloud colours. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Right. Mix the main colour like that. Don't need much of it. I'm going to need some white there. I always say black and white is the most important colours in anything to do with drawing or colouring, because they are light and dark basically. Even if you're not colouring that it's just white, adding the white to another colour to create a different colour light is also quite good. I'm going to start with one here. Now they are going to look weird to start with because I haven't added anything. Yeah, I thought I best add some clouds because this time of year you do get quite a lot of cloud coverage. I know it's night time and you don't always see the clouds, but I like doing clouds. I have my way of doing clouds anyway. Do you want a big cloud sort of making its way both sides? going to put a bit of cloud coverage up here. But I'm going to leave that sort of area up here. And then you will still get clouds down here. But I'm not going to do them as fluffy. Because they'll be sort of more in the distance. Right, now I'm going to add my different colours to the clouds. So, a bit of blue, I think. Just make that colour a bit more. Sort of make them more fluffy looking. Now I'm going to add some black because they are night clouds. I do really like those clouds at the top. I don't really have a method to doing clouds, I just sort of know, my hands just do it, and if it looks like a cloud then I leave it, if it doesn't I keep working little dibbly dabbly bits of painting. But shadows I always tend to do under the clouds, unless I've got a sun then, or a moon, which I don't in this picture. I'm not adding a moon. Trying to keep it a bit more simple for me. So I add the shadows always sort of to the underparts of the clouds, and then I'll add the highlights to the upper parts of the clouds. Whereas if I had a sun here, like say I had a sun in the middle, I would do the light at the bottom and the shadow at the upper parts sort of thing, if that makes sense. Right, now I'm gonna get my white and do a few highlighted parts. So like I said, I'm gonna keep that to sort of these areas. But you don't want to sort of like an outline, I sort of just place it where sort of I've already got lighter colours, and then just go from there really. Some more paint. I'm just going to put a bit in there. Like there's a little cloud, but there isn't. Oops, just knocked over a bottle of water. It's fine, it's got a lid on it. So I think that's the white done. I do like these clouds here. Have to stop as I keep adding dots, and then it'll just look like I've done a pattern. Right, so that needs to dry again, and then I will take off. Oh, I should add some stars while I'm here. Oh, that was really big. just to make it look a bit more fantasy like. Oh, that was too big. I feel like there needs to be one there. There we go. I will just get rid of that one that I did really big. There we go. Right, so I'll be back again waiting for that to dry. And I will also, like I said, slice out the tree parts. Right, I'm back again. I've peeled it off from the trees, and yeah, that was really easy. There was a part, where was it? There was a part somewhere, down here. This bit of paint wasn't quite dry yet, and I think it had made the paper underneath it still wet, so it pulled the paper off ever so slightly here. So I would recommend making sure it is fully dry before peeling anything off. And I will also say that on the packaging it says that heat can affect the tackiness and stickiness of the Frisket film, so do not, well, I doubt you'll use it anyway on it, but don't use a heat gun to dry your paint while you have the film on your page, because one, it's plastic anyway, so you don't want to be adding heat to it, but two, it will make it so much harder to peel off, and it will probably damage your page. I just thought I'd best say that, just in case you normally dry your paint with a heat gun. I don't own one, so it's fine for me. But yeah, just make sure your paint is fully dry before you peel away. So now the only place that has the film on is this lady here and the candle. It was a bit tricky going around the candle, so some of that I just gave up and just was like, yeah, I'll add the highlight in myself later on. So now I'm going to do the trees. So I have got some browns out. I'm just going to add a bit of water to that. Right, so I am going to do, like I said, this area that's got the black outlining darker than this area that has the grey outlining. Just as I'm taking that as where the highlight would be from the candle. So if I just start, and yeah, wow, that's really brown. I do have to remember now that I don't have film on, and we'll have to be careful around the edges. Right, I just want to, I'm going to add some texture in to the trees, but I'm more interested in just getting a layer of brown over. You can still see the liner underneath anyway. I don't know if you can still see it on camera, but I can still see it in person. Well, most of it, I should say. I'm just going to do that bit. Because there will still be some dark parts in. I don't know why there's a random dark part there, but I will add it in. Right, add water to my slightly lighter brown. And I will use that at the top here on those bits that say that they should be lighter. Oh dear, I just dropped water on my sky. That's going to lift the paint up now, isn't it? Yep, I'll have to go back over that in a moment. I'm so clumsy today, it's ridiculous. Like, I was putting food away in the fridge earlier because I've been shopping, and yeah, dropped 3 things on the floor, like one after the other. Right, so I'm now going to go in with, I think it's burnt sienna. Yeah, and just add some of that in, and then I do have a yellow I'm going to add to this to make it have the glow. Water, use it over my. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's fine. It's like a browny yellow then. I will blend all this in, so don't worry. Just want to get the main part of it down where I want the colours, and then I will add detail like I did with the sky. Forgot the film was already over the girl then, and was like, oh no. In my brain it was like, oh no, you've just added yellow to her. I have no idea what colour I'm going to do her yet. No idea at all. Right. Some black down here. Sorry, I keep leaning over, but that's where I have my paint. My paint is over one side and my water is over the other side, and it's like, I should have put them both on the same side, but I don't have that much room. It's not a huge desk. Just a bit of darkness. away from the light. Then my brown again. I will add the details in after I've let this dry. I'll basically just do what I was doing with that black then, but when this is dry. This is where I start to mess up. Oh crap. Oh, sorry. That was really bad out of the line. I mean, it's a tree, so it doesn't need to be completely straight, but at the same time, did my head just go into the picture? Probably. A bit of that yellow again. Just sort of, I didn't wipe the paint off my brush because I still wanted the brown in there, sort of thing. I'm sure you know what I mean. To add a little bit of this down here like that. I think that looks decent enough for now. So I'm going to move over to this side and do the same for this tree. So start with my dark brown. This is a darker tree than the other one because it doesn't have as much of that candlelight on it. Can you still see? Yes, good. I do that a lot, don't I? Forget to move it. But like I said, I shouldn't have that problem because it's taped to the desk. Need more water for my browns. I'm not being as careful with this side because, like I said, it's mostly just going to be the dark brown and the black. There'll only be certain areas that sort of... I keep forgetting I've got the film over it. I was about to be really careful then. Right, so this one can go in here. And then I'm just going to get that yellow. Because it won't be as light as that other side because that's directly by the candle, whereas this side it's not. And we'll do that and I'll blend it. This one, right, this is a part where I have to be a bit more careful because I've got the sky. Right, and now I'm going to get my black. My water needs changing, but I'm going to do this trees first because I'm going to colour her with coloured pencil anyway. I need some more black. It might be enough. So I might do the rest of the detail on the trees with coloured pencil because I need really thin sort of black lines in certain places and I don't think I'm going to get that. I don't have much luck with doing thin black lines with a paintbrush. I could practice, I guess, but I'd rather just get the pencils out that I'm planning to use anyway. Water. Don't know why I'm standing up. That's probably why I'm finding it difficult. Get a bit of brown. bit of yellow to finish that area off, I think. Put that in. Alright, I think that would do for the trees. I think I've got the colours where I want them, and like I said, I'll just add some more detail in when I do it with pencils. So I'm going to have to let this fully dry again. Oh, I will just fix that actually, that sky bit. Hopefully I can just get away with putting some blue on it. Looks okay, I guess. When it's dry, I'll put a couple of stars on there, and then you won't be able to notice, hopefully. So I'm going to pause and be back in a moment. Well, I might take a break now, but it'll be a moment for you. Right, I am back. It has been probably about an hour and a half, maybe 2. Yeah, I was waiting for a package today and it arrived, and I am now the happy owner of some more stickles. I'd been wanting this one, the waterfall, for a while, and then I got the stardust, which I thought that would be good for snow instead of always using my Mod Podge extreme glitter. Then I got black diamond, which I think would be nice for some sort of when you have jewellery and you don't want to do it all sort of diamondy silver, you could do it black. Then I have lime green, which I thought would be good for Christmas approaching. And then I got sunburst. For some reason this one was like half the price of the other ones. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I like, when I opened the box, this was the first one that I saw. Like the camera is not doing it justice how much glitter is in that. But it's the same with the waterfall. They're a really nice colour combination. You got like the green shimmer. So just thought I would share that. And it is fully dry now. I have peeled off all of the film from her, and I think I'll start with finishing off the trees. I've decided I'm going to use my Castle Art 120 set of coloured pencils, just because since I got the gold Castle Art Gold, I haven't actually used the original Castle Arts in a while. I think I used them on a couple of pages ago, but it wasn't anything like a lot, so I thought I'd get them back out again. Although black and white will have to be polychromos because I've used my black and white fully for those. So I'm just going to sharpen this black and white because They're slightly blunt. For this tree though, I think it will mostly just be black that I need, because I'm going to add the texture into the tree trunks. And so, oh, what's that? Oh dear. Oh dear. It's just, I have no idea what that was. Must have been a piece of paint that sort of got stuck. Right, I will start with this side. So I've added slight texture in with the paint, but it looks too much of just a blob of brown. So just going to just sort of quickly, I'm not gonna darken that bit up a bit down there. Just like she had these sort of line squiggles on it, didn't she? And then I'm just gonna, on the top of the brown I'll use the black, but on top of the lighter parts I'll use a brown. That makes sense. Why that bit was still so light. I think it's looking okay. Anybody else waiting for any good packages to arrive? I recently also had Morgan O'Brien's new book. What was it called? Anne Day? Yeah. Annie the Aardvark. That one. Because I thought that would be quite a chilled out book to colour in, because the illustrations are all like relaxing. So I will just do up here and then I'll switch to a brown. should I use? Maybe a walnut brown. And that definitely needs sharpening. No, I remember having a brown in one set that just kept breaking. It might have been this one. It seems to be okay for now. For now. See how it's still dark, but it's a bit lighter, so it will be better for these areas. Because yes, the candle will light it up, but you'd still be able to still see the tree. And I just knocked that bottle of water over again. Why do I keep it under my desk? I just end up kicking it with my feet. I can still see some of the lines, but I'm not really following them. A couple of them I've added in where it shows it to be, but others I'm just like, nah, it's fine the way it is. That will do for that. That one. How's it look on the camera? Oh, I can't really see because my thing's in the way. I think it looks okay. Just shade over that bit a little bit. Sort of helps it bend in a bit. I do like that tree though. Yeah, that needs a bit of something up here. Like I've not added enough texture. There we do. I'm fine with that tree. Now on to the next tree. I'll move my black back. I may still add a bit of white in that tree, but I'll do that after I've done the candle, because I'm not sure on how the colour of the candle is going to turn out, because obviously I'm using pencils now, whereas before I did the light with the paint. I don't think it was this brown that kept breaking, because I had no problems with it then. Right, so it's hard to tell where my page is ending. Just going to do a light layer of black in this corner. Oop. It's almost Halloween. I didn't have anything planned. I'm just probably gonna stay in. I thought I'd be answering the door, but I doubt it. Like, got sweets in, but if it's anything like last year, nobody's gonna turn up anyway. And then you just left to eat them yourself, and it's like, that's too many for one person. And then every time, like, niece visits or anything, it's like, here's a bag of sweets. Take them home. Eat them. Slowly. I don't think I've actually coloured over gouache before. It's only putting in these tree details anyway, so it's not really colouring, but I can feel that I'm colouring on a different texture, but it's not bad. I have to switch to my brown in a moment. quiet again, it's fine. Well, it's fine for me. Not really for a video, is it? It's just like, I don't like this tree as much. I think it's because there's not as much light, I can't add as much detail in it. I don't know. It's that bit that went lighter. It'll do. It's fine. I can always change bits if I need to after, because sometimes if you look at it for too long then it ends up looking worse and worse and worse anyway. So I think I will move on to colouring her, and then afterwards I'll know if I need to edit anything. It's supposed to be tree there. Right. Well, first I'm going to colour a candle. Oh, a light source. Going to be difficult. Let me just pause a moment while I get my colours, else it's going to take a while. Right, so I've zoomed you in slightly, and right, the lighting might get worse now because, yeah, it's a really cloudy day now, and I'm guessing it won't be too long until the sun decides to fully disappear for the day. So I've picked out some colours. I don't know if I'm going to use them all, but I'm going to start off with this lemon yellow light for a very light layer over this. You might not even be able to see it because I'm only doing it very light because I want to build the colour up. It might be a good idea for me to colour the flame in first. Right, that is sort of giving off a thing like that. So I'm going to colour the flame in very simply. I'll take this cadmium orange deep, sort of put that in there like that. Get my yellow back, blend it out. I will be needing to use a white posca on that. I am going to make the centre a little bit darker with a burnt ochre. And then I'm going to take my black and do the wick. Right, so that's that bit. So I'm going to get my cadmium orange deep again and just sort of put a little bit of that in. So a very strange shape for the glow to be. I may have to try and figure out how I'm going to do that. Right, I'm going to get Naples yellow. Just go over that. And blend that out. Yeah, so I will get my posca to get rid of that black line on the flame because no candle flame has a black line around it. Right, and then I'll get my lemon yellow light again and go out from there. So what I think I'll do is I'll get my white posca next. I may have to get another yellow to add a bit more warmth to this flame because It's very pastel-like. It would be okay if I was doing a pastel picture. Cadmium yellow light. I'll just sharpen that a bit. Oh, that's better. Put a little bit of that in there as well. That's brightened that right up. Blend it out a bit. I am now going to do the actual candle, and I have here Naples yellow light and warm grey light. I'm first going to give it a layer of Naples yellow light, which you can barely see, and then I'm going to do the grey within the shadowed areas, which I may need to get the black in as well. And the wax was starting to overflow from this candle. It was a black. And then I can use the white on it to blend it so it's not so dark, but I needed it darker than what the grey was giving me. Don't know what colour I'm going to do this yet. Probably a sort of goldish colour. Oh gosh. I felt that as I was doing it and still never picked it up. Right. I think now would be a good time to get the posca and just go around these parts. I don't want any black lines on my candle. I want the shadows, I don't want the lines. That there I think is wax that's running down the cup, or the candlestick holder. I don't know the proper name for what that is. And then around this edge of the flame I'm going to just do it white, but you'll see it's sort of, you can see the colour from the paint that I've used behind. Just coming out. Yeah, it's hard to tell whether it was coming out or not. It is making this gouache colour come in, but in a way that's actually helping with what I want. So I'm just going to work with it. It's helping to lessen the obvious glow lines. Now the brown will come into it, which will help me with blending it with the tree. And then I will then wipe off my posca and try and get the white more visible to add some white in places, you know. But this is definitely helping to create a less harsh glow. Quite like it actually. Yeah, so just be aware that if you use your Posca pens after you've used gouache, or I'm guessing watercolour as well, that the Posca pen will reactivate it. I quite like that actually. So I'm going to clean this nib off. Get rid of the brown and purple. Might not get rid of it all. I think this was a Posca pen that's starting to run out anyway, so. And I think I would have to wait for that to dry properly to add a bit more white, so I'll leave that as it is and I'll go on to colouring the stand that it's on. I really like that flame, the glow. I bet I'd never be able to do it again though. It's always the way. Right, I'm going to take this cadmium yellow light and do a base colour of that all over here. Oh gosh, is that supposed to be tree? Oh my gosh. So that'd be the lighter tree part. It is as well. Tell you what, it doesn't matter what I colour, I always miss something. Because that's her hand, but that bit in between there's tree. Don't have any water anymore, I got rid of it. A bit of the yellow in there. That'll do. I'm just going to pause it a moment because I can't leave dry paint on this paintbrush. Right, all done. Now I am going to need terracotta. Alright, here you are. Sharpen you up. Okay. So I'll start doing it where the shadow sort of areas would be. These will get black and other colours on it as well, but for now. I'm a bit hit and miss when it comes to shiny stuff. Sometimes it'll turn out exactly how I want, and then other times it's like I never knew what I was doing. Right, I am gonna go back in with my cadmium yellow light, but a bit harder pressure to make this more golden. Again, I probably will go in with some white Posca highlights if it's not at a point which I like. Now for the black. Black is a very important colour for shininess to work. So is white. But like I said earlier, what was this video I said that in, right? Black and white are the most important colours. I think so. I haven't done any other videos today, so I believe it was this one, hopefully. That's if I even said it at all. I could have just been thinking it. Who knows? No, I think I said it earlier. What is that? I'm just gonna do it black. I don't know what it is. That's a hand, right? I don't know. Black. Just black it. Black it out. It'll be fine. Right. Now with my white, I'm just going to put those lighter bits. Now Posca, I'm not gonna do too much, but I will go over this waxy bit because I feel like that needs to be more waxy. I want a bit dripping off of here as well. You don't have to keep it exactly how it was. But that's what this is for. This dish bit is for the wax that melts over and it catches it. So I'm going to put a bit of that in here. It's not going very white. Because it's activating the gouache again, actually. I forgot about that. Right. That's enough for that. I might just wait for it to dry and then I can add more white to it. That bit there is not coloured at all. Add a bit of that into that. It's looking very odd. That's the candle done. So next I will move on to, I'm going to take this cadmium yellow light and just lightly put it on the parts of her that I think would get the light onto her. That bit there is hair, I think. But yeah, so this bit here, part of her neck would get it, her hands, the upper parts of her hands would get it. I think that finger would get it on as well. And then this part would get it on a bit. Then her hair. And her face. Cheek area. That might be this side of the hair, yeah. Sorry. It's like, that's it. Nope. Don't even know what colour hair I'm giving her yet. But yeah, like the tree this side, this is at the back, so it won't get as much light on. So I think that's enough yellow, because down here would be like this tree, and over here would be like that tree. Maybe on that leg, top of that leg, because you can see the shape of her legs within this. Are you even seeing this? Not completely. Right. Just going to put it like that, because I'm going to be colouring her skin first. So I'm going to keep that cadmium yellow light there, and I think I want to use the terracotta in her skin, but I'm going to put the rest of these orange and yellows back a moment. Right, for her shadows on her skin, I am going to use the cornflower blue. Because it's a similar colour to that of the background, so it makes sense to me to use a similar colour. I would use purple anyway, most of the time, for shadows on the skin. But sometimes it's good to use a colour that's already in the page. Just mapping out her cheekbones. She has no ears, so that's good for me, because then I can't miss one of them. It's her neck area. That would create a shadow, her hair. I also feel there wouldn't be much of a shadow on her. I will add a bit of it in there. I know her arms will be having a light on more, but Yeah. The arm would be a lot darker, I think. Don't ask me how I work out where I'm putting the shadows, because it's sort of instinctively where I put them. From like drawing people, you sort of see commonalities of where shadows would be, and normally I find anyway it looks okay if I add the cheekbone sort of line to the corner of the across sort of corner to the mouth sort of thing, like it goes there and then it'd go down, but you don't. That is really hard to explain. How do people explain these things? But yeah, so it's sort of instinctively that I put them where I do. And then this arm, I'd be quite light as well. But then these fingers are underneath the dish. I feel like that would be shadowed. I don't know. Right, next part of the skin colour, I'm going to take that terracotta, and blend this. So you won't see that purple anymore, but it doesn't make the terracotta look completely like terracotta anymore. It's like a dulled down version, and then you can just bring it out so you can see a bit of that terracotta, but I also don't want terracotta to be her main skin tone, it's her shadow tone. I keep saying this, but I hope it makes sense to other people listening, because I have no other way of explaining. So hopefully it's there. Some of these shadow areas I will be adding black to, but only slightly. Because if you were using terracotta on its own without having that cornflower blue down, it'd be that real, well, this orangey colour, wouldn't it? But because it's got the blue there, it makes it more of an acceptable skin tone, because people don't tend to have really bright terracotta orange skin. They might have it as their highlights in their skin. Some people do have that orange glow. That's really nice. Or if they've got fake tan. You used to see that a lot, that orange fake tan, but I think products are a lot better in that department these days. I don't see really orange people as often anymore, which is nice, because people can still self tan if they want, and they don't have to look like an orange, unless they want to. Maybe, because I remember some people, they would use that and they'd be like really orange, but they would still use it again, so they must have liked it. personally, I'm fine being pale. And other people are like, why don't you get a tan? And I'm like, I don't want one. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm all good. If I go out in the sun and I naturally get a tan, then I get a tan. If I don't, then I don't. It's not a big deal to me whether I have a tan or not. But some people don't want to be pale and some people don't want to be dark, and I'm like, there's no winning. I never see anything wrong with people's skin. But some people, you don't even know what their skin tone is or their hair colour is, because for as long as you've known them, they've used products on it, which is quite sad really. But if they want to show that as who they are, then they should. Right, I'm going to pick what colour should I use as the skin tone? I'm going to use Flashlight if I can find it, because it's a cross between like a pinky flesh and a yellow, so it should work nicely to add that glow to her skin. And then I will add some more of that cadmium yellow deep. Her skin should be done. Oh, and the black, of course, sorry. Almost forgot about that then. I do enjoy colouring skin though. I used to be scared of it, but once I realised you can literally add any colour that you want, then it's not scary anymore. Am I recording? Oh dear. Oh good. I forgot, because I've paused it a couple of times. It's like, you get paranoid. I think I say that at least once every video. Have I pressed record? As there'd be like a huge gap in between the part I've got up to and where it would have been before. And oh dear, I don't know if I would upload that or not. If I forgot to press record, would I upload just what I have done, or would I not? It's never happened so yet, because I still think one day it's going to happen. It just feels like it's going to happen at some point. Still don't know what colour to do her hair or her dress, because normally I think she would look good with a purple dress, but the background's purple, so I'm going to stay away from that. And I'm not sure green would go, but at the same time green might be the only way to go. But then there's also red. Could give her a red dress. Don't know. I think I'd do her hair first, but again, colour hair, because the brown would just blend into the trees. I don't really want to give her blonde hair because then I don't get to utilise much of the highlight in her hair. And yeah, predicament. I don't really want to do black hair either. I've done that quite a lot recently, I think. I must have pulled the paper up there when I took the tape off. Right, black. Let's finish the skin. Worry about something else when I've actually finished this. So, that arm would have more shadowing going on. Do that there. Put a bit in there. This neck area would be a bit darker, and I think in here would as well. On her cheekbones, forehead. Nostrils, eye area, I think that has given her quite a dark eye area. I think I'll get the white in on that, just blend it out slightly. Right, get that cadmium yellow. Oh, cadmium yellow light, not deep. Did I have a cadmium yellow deep earlier? I'm going to brighten this below area up because I want to. Why not? I'm going to find a pink, I think. I'm going to add a bit of pink into her cheeks. I also need to colour her lips. And what colour is that? Cherry pink. That's going to be bright. And her eyes. Bit of that on our lips as well, and then I'll get another colour to deepen it up. Put some on her nails as well. The ones that are visible anyway. Two. And a darker colour for her lips. Indian red. And up to the darker bits, I think. It's a nice colour. Go over where I did those black bits. Looks nice in that red. Although I am about to blend it out. So it won't stay red. A bit on the darker parts of the fingernail. Then just white to blend it all in. just think I'm weird to go over it with white and dull it all down again. I just like it blending nicely. Her eyeballs. Just a minute. See if I can get the white in there. No, the posca's gonna have to come out for that. But first, I'm just gonna do her eyes dark. Then I'll add a highlight dot or two with the posca, because her eyes are too small to add a colour, in my opinion anyway. What did I want to do on this that was make it a bit whiter? Don't think that's gonna get much whiter actually. That's fine, I like that candle. I think that's probably one of the best candles I've ever managed to do. And that is her skin done. Oh gosh, now the hair. Because I'll do the hair first, because once I see what colour the hair is, I'll just pick a colour I think will like go with the hair for her dress. And I have missed a bit of skin in there. I know I wanted the yellow glow on it, but I still want to put the skin colour on it. I'm really liking this page. I've been enjoying doing pages with light sources on this this month recently, really. Right, hair. Right, I'm gonna think about it. It might take me a while. Pausing. Right, so yep, another day has gone, and yeah, because I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do with the colours, and so I actually ended up starting another colouring page to help me like stop overthinking. So I have decided that her hair will be sort of like a blonde, but like that sort of not really white blonde, but not really yellow blonde. Like it's got a slight brown tinge to it. And then her dress will be most likely red, unless I change my mind to green, but I'm thinking red at this very moment. Sorry, I missed a pencil when I should have sharpened it. Right, so I'm just going to get on with it and hopefully it will go well. I'm just going to give it a base layer of this where I haven't already given a base layer of that yellow, where I want it to look lighter. This will go in that area, but in a bit more, less capacity. I want to sort of focus on the darker areas first. I'm just going to sharpen this black as well actually, because I won't be using much black I don't think in this hair, but it needs to be there. Right, I'm going to start off with cinnamon, and just going to give it a layer over the parts that are over this side, because there won't be much light to get in towards these parts just for now, and then I'll deepen certain areas up. I'm trying to make this easier for myself and not worry about too much detailing. I am going to add detail, but to start off I wanted to just keep it simple, because there are a lot of waves in her hair. Right, put a bit of darkness in here, because even though it's lit up by the candle, it will still have shadows. They just won't be so dark. Right, that'll do for that for now. I'll just put something there. Why not? Right, so I'm now actually going to get a darker colour, which is my walnut brown that I've been using, and now I'm going to start being a bit more careful about where I add these darker tones, because I don't want to make her hair brown. It's still blonde. Well, hopefully it'll get to the colour that I want. It's not always that simple though, is it? And then, like I said, in those deepest areas I will put a tiny bit of black in, but that won't be until I've finished with the other colours, because I might think, oh, I don't need that in as many places as I thought I did. Right. So right after this video, either literally tonight or tomorrow, I will be filming my October finish pages, which is why I want to get this one done today, because it is actually the 1st of October today. I mean November. Oh my gosh. 1st of November today, but I'm counting this as an October page because it's not much left on it, and yeah, I'm gonna get it done tonight, and I haven't filmed the finished pages yet, so it just makes sense to include it to me. I don't want to keep it laying around for another month, but I will mention in that video as well that this was technically completed on the 1st of November, or hopefully, unless I don't think anything's going to happen for me to stop doing this tonight, but you never know. You never know. Right, that's enough brown. I say that and then I see a part where I want it. Right, so back to my cinnamon. Now I'm going to go where the brown was and sort of blend it out and add it into a couple of new areas, maybe. Because at the moment it just looks like it's a soft brown colour, doesn't it? But it won't stay that way. Sometimes when I'm filming, I get songs in my head and I'm like, you cannot let that come out of your mouth. YouTube will not like it if you let that song out of your mouth. Plus, nobody's ears need to hear that. Yeah, I can't sing. I'm not blessed with a voice that can sing. So I just admire people that can. Right. So yeah, we got 0 trick-or-treaters last night. Like 0. But it's the same as last year, 0. But at the same time we did have really bad weather. And we didn't even decide to put a pumpkin out this year, because last year we put a pumpkin out and we still never got anyone. I mean, there aren't as many kids around this area anymore either, but you'd think you'd get at least one, right? Because we used to get loads, and like, it's not like we don't know the people in the area either. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. I think people are just doing more Halloween parties. Who knows? But in a way, it's quite nice that we didn't have to sort of keep getting up to answer the door, because sometimes you're like, oh, it gives you a little bit of anxiety, doesn't it? Like, when's it next gonna answer the door? Best get to the door fast enough. So yeah, we just have a bowl of sweets that never got touched. Right, yellow ochre light next. Oh, done that a bit sharp. This is where the golden colour comes in. And like I said, I will be adding black to some of these areas because I think it's a bit light in some places. Right. You can see how it's turned into like a blondie brown, which is the colour I was going more for, which is good. Means I luckily picked out colours that made what I wanted, which doesn't always happen, but when it doesn't happen exactly the way I want, I just go with it. I'm just like, well, that's the colour hair you're having now. Because unless I was following like a certain plan to do things a certain colour for like a challenge or something, then I'm not bothered what colour things end up. That's also why I don't write down colour combinations, because for me it takes the fun out of it. Like, how will I accidentally find new colours if I'm only following colours that I've already made? I don't want to do that. And I'm okay with that. Some people like the complete opposite and they like to know exactly what colour they're getting. And that's good for them. But you're your own colourist. You gotta do what works for you. Ugh, cheesy. Sorry. You gotta do what works for you. But it's true. It doesn't matter how cheesy it is, it's true. Right, now I'm going to take Naples Yellow Light and just blend these lightest bits out, because I don't want it looking so like it ends in the middle of nowhere. And then, I don't know where to or not. I'm going to add the black first and then decide on what I was just thinking about. But I think I won't do what I'm thinking about now that I've thought it through. Right, black next. Oof, I knew that was going to happen. so this bit over here is getting hardly any light. So just gonna, and this bit, on this bit. Just adds an extra layer of depth to make those curls look a bit more curly. And that bit. Sometimes I find hair that has curls drawn in it really hard, but sometimes I find it easier as well than straight hair. I think it depends on the overall image. But yeah, because sometimes it's quite obvious how the curls like start and end, sort of go in and out, and then other times it's like you're working your way down the curl and then you're like, wait, this direction's changed and it's added more hair, and what in the world's going on here? And that's when it becomes difficult for me. But this one seems to have kept it quite simple to a point. Like, it's not easy. A little bit of that in there. Yeah, I'm liking that now. That's enough for her hair, I think. The other thing that I was thinking about was going over some of the strands that of the black line with a white pen, and now I'm like, no, that will make it look far too like light. Right, I need to do her eyebrow while I am here, which I'm just going to simply put that in, and a bit of black. I'll call that done. Like, I'm not blend those two together. I'm not gonna, her eyebrows too small to be doing anything more than that, I think. Right, so now I'm going to pause it while I find the colours for the dress. I'm gonna go with red, so be back in a mo. Right, so I've got my colours ready, and to start with I'm going to add where I want the shadows with this cornflower blue. Right, so shadows are definitely going to be the deepest shadows with this. So I'm just going to confuse people and make it think like I'm doing a purple dress. No, I don't think anybody would be confused. I literally do this for everything. If you watched it up until now, you know that if I'm starting off with like a purpley blue, unless I've said that it's going to be a purple or blue, it's not going to be purple or blue when I'm done. You know, it's going to be very dark down there. This area is also going to be dark. So is this area. And it's going to be dark, but not as dark. It's like her legs are going like this. I mean, I could have given her a white dress, couldn't I? I didn't even think of that. But no, red is the way I'm going. So, I think I'll stick with that for now. I can always add more shadows later. I feel like it needs more. I feel like it needs a bit under her arm. I just do. Right, now I am going to take my Indian red and just start to go over the areas where I've just put that cornflower blue. Still quite light pressure, but you'll notice that because the blue's already there, it's created a darker a deeper Indian red. Yeah, I always forget whether it's called India red or Indian red, but it's Indian red. Do this top bit. And sort of just blending it out. I'm going to put a bit up there, but that bit is lighter anyway because all that is concentrated on it. Just blend that out a little bit because I didn't, did I? And then down onto the lower part of the dress. I have accidentally tore the page a little bit there, but should be okay. That must have been when I was using my knife. Like I said, I am not equipped. I am not skilled with that knife yet. I've used it probably about 5 times, and yeah. I always get scared that I'm going to accidentally slip up and chop my finger off, which is highly unlikely, but at least I'm cautious, and I don't think I will be losing a finger anytime soon. But yeah, no. My brain just stops me and makes sure I'm being careful. But because I then don't have confidence in it, it sometimes actually does make me make mistakes where I shouldn't have. Just gotta go along the edge here by the washi tape. I need to sharpen this slightly. I'm sorry if people don't like the sound of the pencil sharpener, but I just think it would take a lot more for me to like keep pausing when I sharpen. So it only takes a few seconds, I'm sure you're all understanding about having to sharpen pencils, since it's something you have to do with your own pencils. And just put that there a bit. I'm going to blend this out a bit. Like I said, this is where her leg sort of comes around. I'm trying to follow the lines that have already been provided, but it's not always easy to do, is it? In this instance, I think it's slightly easier than some that I've coloured. Because, yeah, clothes can be difficult, or should I say fabrics can be difficult. Don't know if that's sort of, I don't know. I'm just going to hope it looks good at the end. And just keep colouring. Like that. See, I think she's sort of sitting in between. I'm just imagining there being some sort of seating situation that flows between these two trees, and she's sat on it, like sitting on a log, and this part of the dress is sort of going down to the floor, but she's sort of tucking her legs underneath what she's sitting on. Maybe. I hope. Right. I'm now going to get my next colour, which is Indian Red Light, which is the same colour but it's slightly more pink. So her dress might end up looking a bit more pink. Either way, I love this colour, so I'm not bothered whether it ends up red or pink. But I may add another red as my lighter colour. I'm not sure yet. I haven't picked one out, which makes me think that I don't need one. But at the same time, I'm not 100% satisfied with it being this colour now that I'm putting it down. I think I need a more true red to blend the light source and this colour. Oh my gosh, I'm slipping down. Yeah, if you didn't know that my desk is like right next to my bed, so I sit on the end of my bed to like I use my bed as my chair. It works for me, but like just then the pillow I was using to make myself more comfortable just sort of slipped away. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get another red after I finish with this colour. And then I'll add the black, and then I will blend everything out with a red. And that will be the colour I will be happy with. could take more time on this, but like I said, I want to get it finished tonight, and I kind of want to continue colouring the other page that I've started. All I've done on it though is a marker base, so I don't think I'm going to get that finished tonight, ready for my completed pages video. But you never know. The evening is still... What is the time? I don't know. It's already dark, but you can't tell by that anymore because it gets dark far too early. 6:15 in the evening, so I will have to finish this. I haven't eaten yet because I wasn't hungry. No, I wasn't hungry, so I decided to do this first and then eat, because 7 o'clock's fine for food. I'm still not even overly hungry, so I'll just cook something small. Right, let me find a red. The reddest red I could see is the vermilion, but I want to add the black shadows first, because then I can blend it out. Ooh, I like that. I do just like adding shadows. Doesn't matter how often I do a shadow, just brings a page to life. A lot of this area down here isn't going to get the light to it at all, which is why I've just sort of done a whole glaze of this black pencil over it. Right, a little bit in there. And now my vermilion. This could all go wrong right now. I like it. Well, I like that bit, but I've liked that bit every time I've added the colour. Because it's only a small area, it doesn't like take too much. And then I'll just get my yellow to go over those highlighted bits, and then that should be a page done after that. But yeah, this will take a few minutes to get the desired look that I want, but I'm glad I went over with the red. I'm pressing quite hard in certain areas, so I may have to sharpen this again in a moment. But I'm sort of doing light and then going back over with a harder pressure in the areas that I want to be slightly deeper. Give that a quick sharpen. What do you think? Was the red a good idea for the dress? Or should I have chosen green? Because to start with, it was either going to be the blonde hair and this colour dress, or like a ginger hair with a green dress. But I thought, it doesn't feel like that long ago that I've used green and ginger in a page. I can't even think of what the page was, but when I think of when did I last do blonde hair and a red dress, like that doesn't immediately put a page in my head that I've done one recently. So I do like the combination of green and ginger and blonde and red, because they work together. It's like purple and yellow, which is in the end why I went with the blonde hair, because they look good with each other. I do love these darker shadow areas as well. This is the bit that I don't like. I don't know what was a good way to do this area. Let's sharpen that again, because I pressed quite hard in that corner. Too much again. I should just like sharpen it, go around twice, but I insist on doing it 3 or 4 times. Right, I'm just going to go over this all with this red and then see which areas I think will look better darker, because it's a bit of a weird area, don't you think? Well, my eyes can't seem to grasp what should have shadows and what shouldn't. It's far too light up here in some areas. It's got to have the light on it from the candle. I think I'll just deepen this bit up a bit. Better in some of the gaps because you can see the paper a little bit. I know what you're thinking, why go over it so many times? I will just end up ruining it in a minute, so I think I'll stop there, get the yellow. Which yellow should I use? Was I using the cadmium yellow light? Let's make it really orangey though. I might get my white and blend that in a bit. Might hit a few areas. A bit more red in that. Let me have a look at that. Should we try zooming out a little bit? I have actually moved the camera a little bit. Right. Because I had to be able to see it. Right, I'm just going to take this tape off. Hopefully it's not going to rip the page anywhere. But it has been on for a while, and sometimes when they're on for a while it can become difficult. I think that has started to slightly rip that. I find sometimes a different direction is easier. And taking your time. That area did rip slightly, but that's okay. Like I say, it didn't really bother me because it's not actually the part that's coloured. Yeah. Oh, the line is slightly thick at this side. I thought I got it quite even, obviously not. But I do like having that white border. Don't know about you, it just makes it look clean. Look, that ripped in like exactly the same sort of place. Ooh. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Not at all. It's where the paint ended. Let me just get my knife a minute. Looks like the corner of the paint has caught the tape. Oh dear. Wasn't good. That ripped it there as well. Yeah, I haven't used this purple tape before, but it, like I said, it's been on for like a day, no, 2 days now, because yeah. Let me try and, I don't want it to ruin the page, you know. Right, let me just pause this a minute while I sort this out, because you're just watching me struggle. Right, so that's done. That only actually took like a minute after saying I would pause it. So yeah, and other than it being ripped a bit there, which I'm totally fine with, I really enjoyed trying to make this light. The candle is probably my favourite part of this, but I do love the overall like feel of it. So next video will be my completed pages for October. Yeah, October. I have to think what month again. Always happens when a new month starts, and obviously the clock's changed as well recently, and gosh, it's like I had an extra hour sleep, and I woke up when my alarm went off, and I was like, I feel like I've had longer to sleep, and it wasn't until I actually said that to someone that they were like, well, you do know we got an extra hour because the clock's changed. And I was like, oh, that makes sense now. So until my next video, I hope you are all doing well and are having a great time colouring. It probably won't be long until the completed pages video, so until then, goodbye.